Hey, it's another installment of Skip's Sauntering Snippets. This is not a number like I normally do, but a Laconia High School Extra Edition. I was informed by a couple of sources that were some hijinks that were going on in the Laconia High School a couple of nights ago. One of the best publicly kept private secrets around, generally called or otherwise known as Senior Prank Night. Well, apparently 20 to 30 students got into the building and they did their usual kind of senior prank. But there was a little bit of a problem there. Not the one that you may be hearing about, where a white male used a derogatory sexual term in calling for one of his friends over the intercom system, nor a black female that used the N-word over the intercom system as well. And they got in trouble for that. They've been suspended. But I'm thinking, how do you get into that office? Well, I was told that somebody in the administration actually got a master key and gave it to one of the students. And gave it to one of the students in that they could get into the high school after hours. Now think about what just happened in Texas over the kerfuffle about, did a teacher open up a door? Was it kept open by a rock? Was the rock removed and the teacher shut the door? When she saw the truck crash into a ditch and the shooter down in Uvalde decided to start coming after her or into the building, got into the building anyways. This wonderfully expensive auto lock door didn't auto lock, is my understanding, but things keep changing, so we won't know all the details for real for a while. And it may be the same way with the Laconia High School incident. Apparently the master key was passed between students. They numbered about 20 to 30 in carrying out this yearly event, and I have no problem with that. I always used to like reading about the MIT senior pranks, and some of them were quite well executed, quite well done. And in fact, I could see some of them from when I was in my dorm room up on the 18th floor overlooking the Charles and over to MIT. But anyways, so my question is, when this really starts to go public, who's really going to get in trouble? The suspended kids for using language that government doesn't like? You know, there is no such thing as hate speech when you look at the Constitution. There's only the promulgation of free speech, that government is not allowed to limit your speech. And when you look at the Brandy Levy case that was recently done, this young gal who did not get onto the varsity high school cheerleading squad, afterwards at home on her own time, recorded a rather potty mouth rant. The school suspended her, kicked her off the junior high varsity one. I've written about this on Granite Rock. Went to the Supreme Court, and the school district got hammered by saying, you can't do that. Not on school time, not on school property. This is a wee bit different. Not on school time, but certainly in the school building. But here's the hitch. The administration, the school board, and the superintendent are both in hot water as to what's going on with the administration. Steve Tucker, which I have been talking about and writing about for a while now, is ultimately responsible as the effective COO of the district. How did that master key get out from an administrator if it was not him, if it was not the principal, or if it was not the assistant principal? I'm fingering all three because all of them have the responsibility under Truman's "the buck stops here" bit. The problem with Tucker is that he never seems to take much responsibility at all for anything, and is still on a rampage of trying to out those that decided to write that letter back in the fall, complaining of a hostile workplace. Dave Levesque just put out his goodbye letter from the elementary school. He has now taken a position in nearby Franklin. Another one of Steve Tucker's victims. Boy, he's got so many notches on his gun handle now. And the school board just pats him on the back. Well, are they going to pat him on the back for this? Are they finally going to realize this is not a good look for the district? And the school board now is starting to look like patsies. This is what happens when superintendents capture the school board, which is supposed to be overwatching and overseeing his performance. And when he turns out to be more powerful than the head honcho, that would be school board chair Hayward, what is a district supposed to do? What is a community supposed to do? And what are they supposed to do about a master key that allowed students, high school students, skulls still full of mush, as the late Talkmeister would say, do all kinds of things? Who is going to suffer the repercussions of this? Will it be the 2 students that were on the intercom? Is it going to be the 20 or 30 students that were roaming the halls unsupervised at night doing what is generally an innocuous senior prank event, long loved by most people, perhaps except for janitors? Or is it finally going to be who allowed it to happen? Are they going to do an investigation to find out where the master key was procured? Is that person going to get the shaft? And is their manager going to get the shaft? If it was the assistant principal, isn't the principal responsible for overseeing his staff? And isn't Steve Tucker responsible for overseeing the principals? And God help that poor janitor if that was the one who slipped them the key. Anyways, the question is, the working title I wanted to use was, "For the want of a key, a suspension was made." Following in that poem, "For the want of a nail, a shoe was lost. For the want of a shoe, a horse was lost. For the want of a horse, the battle was lost." And proceeding upward from there. A single key. So what is the key to this situation? And what is it going to unlock? This is a developing story, and we will have Series 2 when I find out more. Thanks for listening, folks.
Croc TV.